to My Startup TV. I'm your host, Major Sunil Shetty. Many years ago, an antivirus software was all that was needed to secure individuals and organizations. Today, when individuals and organizations are using technology in every sphere of our lives and business, the threat from cyberspace has also enhanced. This has forced companies, governments, and individuals to use advanced solutions to protect their information. To get a better insight into cybersecurity solutions, I have with me Ram Bandireddy. He is the Senior Vice President, Pre-Sales and Product Management at Cotrigent, India. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ram.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about your company. You're over 10 plus years old. What space of cybersecurity do you work in?
Right. So we are about 20 years in cybersecurity space. We were founded in 2001, and we were originally founded in New Jersey, and then we have so we are focused on cybersecurity primarily. And if you look at the world today, it has changed completely. The dynamics of security has changed completely, even within the last 18 months. In the last 18 months, we have seen that the perimeters have been toned down, and we're all logging into applications without firewalls. We are logging into cloud environments. So the only barrier between us and the application is identity space, right? So we are a managed security services organization focused on managing the threats and reducing the threats. We have a patented product called Intellecta, and our solution provides insights into organizations' threats. So we would proactively identify all the threats in the organization, whether they arrive from network or applications or source code, or even from a desktop. For example, if one of the employees receives an email and accidentally clicks on a link, they would probably be opening up a door of malware, and they could be accidentally downloading the malware without knowing that they're downloading malware, and they could be breaching their data without their knowledge. So there could be a malware sitting on the laptop and talking to other laptops or desktops or servers in the network, and possibly passing it to the application server and impacting the entire organization, right? So we have seen a lot of data breaches in the last several years, and we are there to protect the data. We can proactively identify any breaches or threats in the organization and help identify the breaches of the threats and block them.
Tell us about your patented product. How is it different to whatever other solutions are available out there for cybersecurity?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the Intellecta product is itself a very unique product because everybody is focused just on threats. We are focused on threats, proactively identifying the threats and blocking the threats. At the same time, we also help automate the compliances. In today's world, we all need to be compliant to some regulation, right? So whether it is PCI or if you use credit cards, or if you have customers from Europe, you're probably prone to GDPR. If you access healthcare information, you're prone to HIPAA, and the state governments have their own compliances, and they have to comply to the central government security policies. So we help automate all of those compliance requirements based on the customers. Again, we are very active in government organizations. We're very active in healthcare. We're active in financial industries and retail as well. So all of our customers not only take our help in identifying the threats, but also use us for automating their compliance needs.
So today, cyber is no more, or the threat emerging from cyberspace is no more limited to individuals or organizations. It has even gone up to the level where countries are, involved in it. As a company, what kind of solutions do you provide to government organizations, if you do?
So absolutely. So this is very helpful, especially when we have nations being proactively attacking other nations and trying to get secrets or IP, intellectual property. We help all of those threats, right? We identify those threats, and we can see what the origination IP address is. Where is that IP address coming? Is it coming from from a different country like China or some other organization? And we can proactively geotag that IP address and correlate back it to other events happening in the organization, and we would be able to help mitigate that risk or the threat.
Tell us about, what kind of services do you provide as part of the solution?
So when we take our organization, we are a purely managed security service provider. So in other words, we would be helping organizations, we would be helping governments manage their security operations center. We would be able to monitor all of their events and help identify the threats, whether it is from the networks, whether it is from their applications, or if it is a human error. We can analyze the human user patterns and see if it is very abnormal, right? So a normal user logs in, does access to applications, but never transfers data to other nations or other IP addresses which are in dark web. We would be able to help identify if such activity is happening. And so from soup to nuts, we actually started as an identity access management software company, and we have helped several organizations in identity access management and governance space. So that's what our background has been. Our founders came from the identity space, and they realized that just helping identity is not going to be good enough, right? So that is still bread and butter of our business. We still manage a lot of identity and access for several of our financial customers and healthcare customers. But with the managed services solution, we would be able to monitor their vulnerabilities. Let's take Apache, right? Is it running the latest Apache's application server or not? And if it is running the latest one, is it prone to other vulnerabilities? Does it have the latest patches? We can help manage the patch management as well. From soup to nuts. If you have, we would be one managed security service provider who can help the customers secure their infrastructure from end to end. And in today's environment, cloud plays a big role in our lives, right? So we all are used to AWS environments, Azure environments, and GCP. One of the things we can identify is, depending on how they're using the cloud. Again, for us, it doesn't matter what cloud you use. Are you an Amazon user or a Google user or a Microsoft user? For us, cloud is cloud. We manage and we can identify the security posture of all the cloud environments, for all the heterogeneous cloud environments. We can identify the misconfigurations. If somebody has opened up their servers to the public, we would be able to identify that. As simple as that, right? It is a small configuration issue, but there's a lot of threat in it, right? So somebody could accidentally leave a storage bucket open to the wall, and there could be all of your Aadhaar information or social security information, or even credit card information, right? So we will be able to identify all of those threats in an organization. And if something is exposed, we can help send an alert to the security team and help mitigate that. It can start as simple as alerting the customers and then mitigating, right? So we have automation available in the product. As I mentioned, from a compliance perspective, our customers have been asking for automation, and in the last 18 months, we have seen tremendous growth in that space. And we're seeing our customers appreciate all the efforts we put in. And we had a lot of software releases in the last 18 months to meet the new compliance requirements with the remote working being enabled, right? Overnight, everybody had to scale up their remote infrastructure, and we've been helping our customers proactively.
Cotelligent has started 20 years ago. What kind of challenges, were you facing then, you faced then, and today, with the enhanced adoption of technology, what are the opportunities emerging?
Absolutely. So we started as a as I mentioned, identity access management software company and services in the software services industry. And we have evolved as an organization, and we have become a full matured MSSP offering. Now, there are very few companies who go into that breadth and depth from an managed security services. With SaaS as a service, we had to evolve ourselves and re-innovate ourselves and become a MSSP with the SaaS offering we provide today. And as part of it, we built this product called Intellecta. Initially, we had customers using it on-prem in cloud. Now we made it part of our core managed security services offering, and we use it as our backbone for offering all the managed security services. From Intellecta, you can manage or monitor your vulnerability management stuff. You can see how the data has been organized within the enterprise, and you can mitigate all of those risks. And whether you have cloud environment, whether you have hybrid environment or on-prem environment, we can help identify all the risks ahead of time proactively, and help our customers avoid penalties. Right, penalties is a big thing. Especially, we have several customers in North America and Europe, and we help our customers from not paying penalties for compliances like GDPR. We have helped. We start with the discovery phase. We identify where the data is and what kind of risk is it prone to. And every data is different, right? So it could be a citizen's data, it could be a credit card data, it could be social security or Aadhaar in India, right? So we help identify the data, and then we can apply the governance across what we find.
Thank you, Mr. Ram. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hosting you on the panel talk show. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Cheers.